Me, Bronze Age grunt, right? Living in caves, chasing mammoths, banging rocks together for fun? Wrong! If that's what you picture when you think of Bronze Age people, prepare to have your mind blown. These folks were the tech wizards of their time, cooking up innovations that make even Tony Stark jealous. Let's dive into the surprising tech of Bronze Age people and see how they were basically the OG engineers. First off, why is it called the Bronze Age? No. It's not because they were obsessed with tanning. It's named after bronze, the superstar alloy that changed the game. But getting there, oh, it was a wild ride of fire, sweat, and some serious brain power. Let's break it down. Step 1. Getting the goods, copper and tin. These weren't just lying around like shiny Pokemon cards. Bronze Age miners were hardcore. Picture this. They'd hike to a rocky cliff, light a roaring fire against the stone to heat it up like a prehistoric sauna. Why? Thermal expansion, baby. The rock would swell from the heat. Then sploosh! They'd douse it with cold water. The sudden chill made the rock contract and crack like a bad breakup. Boom! Easier to smash with hammers and collect those precious copper ores. But they didn't stop there. They'd grind the ore into a fine powder. Think ancient food processor vibes to make smelting easier. Then they'd wash it to ditch the useless bits, like panning for gold, but way less glamorous. Now the fun part, smelting. They toss the copper ore into a clay crucible, fire it up with charcoal, because wood alone ain't set hot enough, and crank the heat past 1083 degrees Celsius, copper's melting point. Liquid metal. Tin was easier, melting at a chill 232 degrees Celsius. These guys were basically chemists without the lab coats, figuring out exact temps by trial and error. Respect. Here's where the magic happens. They mixed about 88% copper with 12% tin. Yep, they nailed the recipe for bronze, the alloy that's harder than copper alone. Too much tin? Brittle disaster. Too little? Weak sauce. They poured this molten mix into molds, from simple stone slabs to fancy pants bivalve molds. Two-piece designs like a prehistoric 3D printer, or even side Purdue, a lost wax technique for super intricate shapes. These folks were sculpting tools like nobody's business. Once cooled, they'd file off the rough bits. Think ancient manicure for metal. Then they'd hammer the bronze to work, harden it, making it tougher by squishing its crystal structure. Stronger, but hammering could make it brittle, so that heated just below melting. That is, annealing, folks, to chill out those internal stresses. Finally, good polish to make it gleam like a Bronze Age Instagram filter. Voila! Tools and weapons ready to slay literally. Think this is just ancient history. Think again. The Bronze Age crew were using principles we still rely on. Thermal expansion and contraction. That's how your car engine handles heat. Melting points? Crucial for modern metallurgy. Those fancy bivalve and sire Purdue molds? They're the great-grandparents of today's precision casting. Work hardening and annealing. Still used to make everything from airplane parts to your kitchen knife. These Bronze Age brainiacs weren't just banging rocks. They were laying the groundwork for modern tech. So next time you picture Bronze Age people, forget the caveman cliché. These were clever, fire-wielding, metal-mixing innovators. who'd probably laugh at our 3D printers and say, fuck, been there, molded that. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through the Bronze Age. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what ancient tech should we explore next. Until then, keep forging ahead.